2 o'clock, I will call to order the November 15th, 2022 meeting of the Development Waiver Review Committee. If anyone in the audience has any mobile devices, if you could please turn those off or silence them right now, that would be great. My name is Ann Lippman. I'm the Community Development Director, and I am the chairperson of this committee. If you are up at the podium presenting any facts to any of the two cases we have today, please direct all of your questions or comments directly to me. At this time, I would ask my fellow members and our county attorney if they would turn on their microphones and introduce themselves to everyone.
Jason Phillips, County Attorney.
Ray Wooten, Interim Director of Water.
George Jones, Director, Paulding County DOT.
Bruce Coyle, County Engineer.
Frank Baker, County Manager.
Thank you all. We have 3 agenda items today. Our first is to review the minutes from the November 2nd, 2022 specially called meeting. Those have been provided to you. If everyone has had a chance to review those, and if there are no additions or corrections, I will ask for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Jones and a second from Mr. Coyle to approve the minutes from November 2nd. If there are no questions, I will call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
If there are any opposed, a nay. There are none. The minutes are approved unanimously. Our first case today is case number 2022-17-W. It is application by Jonathan Jones, Elite Engineering, requesting to waive the PDOT recommended left turn lane onto the proposed commercial truck parking site located at 281 Reynolds Road, Hiram, Georgia. Property is located in land lots 743 and 744, District 19, Section 2, and is located in Post 3. Is the applicant or representative present? Okay, if you would like to come up and present this application request.
Hello, my name is Will Summey, and I'm here on behalf of Elite Engineering to represent Truck Parking LLC with their request for the removal of the left turn lane requirement for their proposed truck parking site. The site is located off of Reynolds Road, and as such, this is a dead-end street, and we feel that in the interest of this development, the left turn lane is not needed for the proposed parking space. It has a proposed 58 spaces as seen on the site plan. And we are open and reserve our time for any other questions or comments from the board related to this request.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions from any members of the board?
In this month's, I believe, zoning, there's a case to purchase the property at 299 Reynolds Road and add this to this tract. Is that included, that additional parcels?
Yes, it is.
So there's not going to be adding any more spaces with that parcel?
No, the spaces, the site plan shown, and I can open it on the projector here. If you're able to see the video board or turn around, but if you have the site plan in front of you, okay, then you can see the sort of area I'm circling. That is the proposed additional piece that will be purchased and rezoned at the end of this month, and you can see our site plan shows the spaces already moving through that area.
I guess I'll say more comments than anything else. I guess there would be some concerns, just make sure that trucks don't back up onto Reynolds Road itself, that there's enough parking internal, and there's also the gate is set off the edge of the travel lane enough where a vehicle can stack in there without backing out into the roadway itself. Also, too, looking at it now that you've purchased that property, I'd recommend looking at changing the access point to line up opposite 298 Reynolds Road. You have that way it's kind of more in the center of the property. I would recommend looking at that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I have a question. We received a letter from Elite this morning,
Yes, sir.
and I've got it right here. There's a copy of it, and it's got February 14th, 2022 on it. Is that a typo?
Yes, sir. That is a typo. I apologize. This is a similar letterhead just from a previous submittal. So that was a typo. It should have read November 14th, or since we completed yesterday.
Okay, so I just wanted to clear that up because I did notice it was different. So I was trying to put two and two together.
Yes,
So
sir.
Thanks
Typo.
for getting me to 4.
Does anyone else have any questions? Please.
You know the intent of the big open space in the middle? Is there gonna be a building there? Is there gonna be more than just trucking as far as business wise?
No, the intent is only for truck parking. Just in the design of this site, it became too difficult to produce more spots in the middle due to turnaround radius needed for these trucks, and that left the middle open. It became more apparent in design to have the parking spaces along the outer edge of the proposed site instead of the middle.
Yeah, 'cause you know, you do need 90-something feet to pull one in to back it into something.
Any other questions for the applicant? Okay, thank you. You can take a seat, and you reserved your time if there's any further comments. At this time, I will ask if there are anyone in the audience wishing to speak on behalf of this application, if they would like to come forward. Is there anyone who is wishing to express opposition, has questions or concerns regarding the application? Does not appear there are, so we will conclude the public comment portion of this case. At this time, I will ask again if there are any questions or discussion from the board, or if anyone is prepared to make a motion.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion from Mr. Jones and a second from Mr. Baker to approve this request. If there are no questions, I will call for a vote. All of those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
If there are any opposed, that would be nay. There are none. The motion is granted unanimously. Our second case today is case number 2022-20-W, application by Beers Construction Partners LLC, requesting to waive the mandatory requirement of public sewer connection for a 12-lot subdivision and instead proposes an on-site sewage management. Property is located in land lots 1215, 1216, 1233, and 1234, District 2, Section 3, located along the east side of Clyde Cole Road and north of Perkins Road in Post 2. Is the applicant present? Okay, sir, if you'd come up to the podium, and there is a sign-in sheet, if you would please sign in and, like I mentioned before, address all of your questions or comments directly to me.
Good afternoon. My name is Tyler Lasser. I'm with Alliance Engineering and Planning, and I'm here tonight, or this afternoon, on behalf of Beers Construction. They are looking to waive the requirement for sewer connection with the intent of constructing a 12-lot subdivision at the corner of Clyde Cole and Perkins. As of right now, or the requirement that stems from the fact that this site is within I believe it's the Cobb Sweetwater water basin, which does typically require those sewer connections. However, there is not sewer available within a reasonable distance of the site. Everything around it is all served by septic, so that's exactly what they're looking to do with this subdivision. Beyond that, it's pretty straightforward, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
I'll start with the question.
Sure.
You said reasonable distance. Do you know what the distance the nearest sewer is?
I do not. I'm unfortunately not the designer for this project, but I know that every lot within proximity is all served by septic. Everything adjacent is served by septic.
Ray, do you know?
It's a good distance away.
Right.
You do know that this being in a mandatory sewer basin, as part of the agreement with Cobb, we still need to collect the Cobb Sweetwater Basin fees.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we discussed that with staff just the other day.
Okay, well, we would need to collect those. And looking at your easement here, on your back page, I see that you have a 20-foot easement. Actually, we need a larger easement. Basically, what we generally go with is a 60 that reverts to a 20 permanent easement, so that we have an area to construct within.
Okay.
So, but that's one of the things, so we'll have the ability to construct it.
Sure.
In this area, what are you proposing as your minimum lot size?
So as of right now, they range. Some are, as we proposed them, some are over an acre, some are a little bit under an acre. But we had discussed we actually had a meeting with staff yesterday to kind of go over our options going forward through the review process. And it sounds like my client's willing to rearrange the site a little bit to make sure that each lot is at least 1 acre.
Okay.
Excuse me, have environmental health looked at your soil map at this time?
I do not believe we've gotten that far yet. I may be
Yeah.
wrong.
Preliminary storm design, you show a very large pond. You know, there is map floodplain not too far to the north of you. You might could do a no detention hydro and have that land. Other things that, you know, with your curb and gutter addition, you know, I know it's into design,
Right.
but, you know, your stormwater will need to be, those are ditch section roads, and you're gonna put curb and gutters, you're gonna have some inlets and some storm piping and or ditching that could affect the buildability of the lot. And likewise, up there on, it's not Perkins, the other road.
Clyde Cole?
Yeah, adding that storm drain, I don't know if you've looked where that pipe discharges, it discharges right at a house. You might want to take that water internal back into your project with a pipe system to get through
Sure.
the hill. Those are, you know, just some design considerations.
Yeah.
You know, open septic tank an open drainage easement or ditch does affect the soils, even if they're good. If you install a storm pipe, it just has a 10-foot DE on each side of it, and if the soils are good, you can go to that 10-foot mark. Open ditch, the environmental health looks at it as water, and all of a sudden you lose 50 feet of property adjacent to that ditch. So that, you know, as far as some of your storm drains, we'll need to take that into account. 1 acre lots very much will help improve everything. But those are just some thoughts that
Sure.
need to be looked at.
Yeah, we've been working pretty closely with staff as of lately, just kind of going over those exact design details regarding stormwater management, and one of those things making the lots larger. My client's absolutely open to doing so.
Does anyone else have any questions? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank
You can
you.
have a seat for a moment. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak on behalf of this application? Is there anyone wishing to express opposition, has questions or concerns regarding this application? Okay, does not seem that there is, so I will close the public comment portion. Is there any additional questions or discussion from the board, or is anyone ready to make a motion?
Motion to approve?
I will second it with some stipulations.
Just for clarity's sake, if he wants to propose stipulations, you may want to withdraw your motion.
Can I withdraw my motion?
All right, there's no motion on the floor, so it's open for a new motion.
I motion to approve with 1 acre lots and at least a 40-foot construction easement for the future sewer and a permanent 20-foot easement for the future sanitary sewer.
So just so I've got all this down, you make a motion with 3 stipulations, one being that they are 1 acre lots, Second, a 40-foot easement for construction,
Future sewer.
and a 20-foot easement for
Permanent storm,
for storm or
sanitary.
sanitary.
It's all sanitary
Okay.
sewer easement.
Okay, so we have a motion for Mr. Coyle with 3 stipulations. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion for Mr. Coyle with 3 stipulations, seconded by Mr. Wooten. Is there any questions?
One question, the 40 temporary construction easement plus the 20 permanent, is that a total of 60?
No, it's just 40 for construction,
Okay.
20 permanent.
20 in the center?
If
Well,
that's
the-
adequate.
What we asked for is a 60 reverting to a 20.
Okay.
That gives us an additional 40 foot.
I modify my motion to a 60-foot construction easement to be shown on the final plat.
Can you do that? Or do
I'm
we
going
need
to
start
assume
over?
Mr. Coyle has withdrawn his previous motion.
Excuse me.
All right.
I will withdraw my previous motion.
Is there a new motion?
A motion to approve with basically with 2 stipulations. One is 1 acre lots. The second is a 60-foot easement reverting to a 20-foot permanent easement for the construction and permanent easement for sanitary sewer.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Mr. Wooten, seconded by Mr. Coyle, to approve the request with 2 stipulations relating to 1 acre lots and a 60-foot temporary easement for construction reverting to a 20-foot permanent easement for construction of sanitary sewer. Any questions? If not, I will call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed would be a nay. There are none. The motion is approved unanimously. Those were our 2 only agenda items today, so I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll second. I never get to make motions very rarely. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.